From Twickenham to a Scottish castle and then to a BBC building site in southeast London, few rugby players have lived as loudly or as honestly as Joe Marler. Born in Eastbourne in 1990, Marler went from a teenage front row prospect at Haywards Heath to one of the most recognisable props in world rugby. Several hundred appearances for Harlequins, 95 caps for England, a World Cup final, and yet in 2025, Joe Marler's story took a new turn. Marler's career was never ordinary. He was fierce, funny, and never afraid to speak his mind. In his book, Loose Head, Confessions of an Unprofessional Rugby Player, he writes, "When the ball is up in the air and it's a perfect kick, it doesn't matter how great it looks, because there's no telling which way it'll bounce when it hits the floor. That's a bit like life, isn't it?" The bounce, the unpredictability, seems to define his life after rugby. When he retired from international duty in 2024, he didn't disappear, he reinvented himself. In early 2025, Marler joined the BBC's Celebrity Traitors, the hit reality show where contestants bluff and betray each other in a Scottish castle. On screen, he was the same mixture of blunt, curious, and unexpectedly thoughtful. He said to the BBC, "I don't think I'm good at reading people, but I'd say I'm good at asking the right questions. I like awkward conversations. Pack people into a corner and see what happens." He treated the show like a new kind of rugby match. A team under pressure, full of strategy and trust issues. Only this time, there was no scrum to bind him, just human behaviour. Just as the Traitors is reaching its peak with the final on Thursday this week, Marler appeared on another TV show, another BBC institution, DIY, SOS, The Big Build. The episode followed the Scott family, 5 siblings trying to rebuild their lives after the sudden death of their mum, Zoe. Nick Knowles and his team were renovating their home, and Marler joined in to help the rugby-loving brother Sam. The rugby scenes were filmed at Old Elthanians RFC, a club with its own story of resilience. They'd risen through the national leagues, beating Sale FC in a famous playoff to reach National 1, only to fall back after financial trouble. A club that had soared, stumbled and started again, just like the family the programme was helping. Marler told the BBC camera, "Rugby's a place where you can fail together and still get up together. That's what these kids are doing." Nick Knowles called it one of the emotional builds they'd ever done. And Marler has become a voice for mental health in sport. In 2020, he told The Guardian, "I was in complete denial there was anything wrong with me. I just melted and said, 'I don't know what's going on, mate. I feel awful. I'm a bad person.'" That kind of honesty changed how people saw him. He's still blunt, still funny, but also deeply real. He's shown that you can be tough on the pitch and tender in life. So Joe Marler's journey, from England prop to castle strategist to community volunteer, isn't really about rugby, it's about what happens when you hang up the shirt and keep searching for meaning. He's shown adaptability, authenticity, community and resilience, the values that made rugby what it is. Whether helping rebuild a family home or lifting a fallen club, the message is simple: get back up and bind together. He once said, "You can't laugh off everything, but you can laugh through it," and that's a start. If you've ever played the game or you just tried to pick yourself up after a fall, that's a sentiment worth holding on to.